The boxing world is bracing itself for a thrilling showdown as Virgil Ortiz Jr. faces Israel Madrimov. Both fighters are known for their exceptional skill sets, and this bout promises to push them to their absolute limits. From their unique fighting styles to the challenges they bring to the ring, Ortiz versus Madrimov is shaping up to be a fight for the ages. Let's dive into the build-up and analyze the perspectives surrounding this highly anticipated matchup.
I think this is going to be a very entertaining fight. I think it's going to be a battle of the jabs, particularly in the early rounds. But as things progress, I think Ortiz is going to start walking Madrimov down, and he's going to attempt to drag him into the trenches.
Israel Madrimov has sparred with Virgil Ortiz Jr. in the past and holds high regard for his opponent. Madrimov described Ortiz as athletic, quick, and highly skilled, appreciating their shared experiences during training. This mutual respect speaks volumes about the level of competition fans can expect. Madrimov's familiarity with Ortiz's style may give him insights into exploiting weaknesses, setting the stage for an intense clash.
Sparring with Virgil Ortiz, he seemed to be a little apprehensive about what you had said. I don't know if it was lost in translation in the interview, but by chance, did you listen to Virgil's reaction to the sparring?
They asked him about me, and he was like, oh yeah, he's a good fighter, this and that, and it's like, what do you think of him? And he was like, well, he's a normal boxer, and we went to just play with him or whatever. So I mean, to me, that's how do I say?
It's kind of dissing you, like dissing what
selection is throwing shade, you know what I mean?
There's nothing to really say. I mean, we had a good sparring. He's very good, he's athletic, he's quick. I was helping him in preparation in his fight at that time. We exchanged the experience. I mean, I don't know what else to say to it.
Future fight, maybe?
Maybe.
Madrimov's decision to fight Ortiz just 2 months after competing on the Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk undercard is a bold move. With minimal rest, the Uzbek fighter is diving straight back into action. This demonstrates his hunger and determination, but the lack of recovery time could also be a double-edged sword as he faces a relentless opponent like Ortiz.
The thing here is that Madrimov has still got a fight scheduled against Serhij Bohachuk on the Usyk Fury undercard later this month. Bohachuk is a very tough fighter. He just gave Virgil Ortiz absolute hell. So is Madrimov really going to come through him and be fresh enough to fight Virgil Ortiz 2 months later with basically no rest? That's very strange.
While many fans hoped for an Ortiz versus Boots Ennis matchup, some argue that Madrimov may present an even greater challenge. His recent performances, including a closely contested bout with Terence Crawford, showcase his resilience and technical abilities. Madrimov's ability to adapt to different styles makes him a dangerous adversary for Ortiz.
It may not be as popular a fight in the United States as Ortiz Boots Ennis would have been, but some might argue, and they might be right to argue this, that Madrimov is actually a more difficult opponent for Ortiz than Boots would have been, based on recent form. Madrimov pushed Terence Crawford very, very close, right to the wire.
Madrimov's fight against Terence Crawford highlighted his ability to push elite fighters to their limits. His preference for opponents who box rather than pressure plays to his strengths, allowing him to showcase his technical prowess. This stylistic preference might give Madrimov an edge against Ortiz, who thrives on applying relentless pressure.
What I will say, however, is I suspect that Madrimov is one of these guys that prefers to fight guys who box him rather than guys who pressure him.
Virgil Ortiz is known for his high-pressure fighting style, characterized by solid jabs and relentless bodywork. His ability to land powerful combinations can wear down opponents over time. While this approach has brought Ortiz significant success, facing a technically gifted fighter like Madrimov will test his ability to adapt and execute his game plan.
And Terence Crawford, for the most part, boxed Madrimov.
One of Madrimov's most underrated attributes is his exceptional footwork. His ability to bounce in and out of range while setting up clean jabs and powerful right hands is a hallmark of classic Soviet boxing. This mobility could help Madrimov neutralize Ortiz's aggressive style and create opportunities to counterattack effectively.
Virgil Ortiz likes to pressure his opponents, likes to hit you with that solid jab, work your body, and throw combinations up top.
The fight is expected to feature a tactical battle of jabs in the early rounds. Both fighters are skilled at using their jabs to control distance and set up their power shots. As the fight progresses, Ortiz may attempt to drag Madrimov into deeper waters, forcing him to engage in a more grueling close-quarters fight.
Madrimov has got very underrated footwork. He bounces in and out of range constantly. He's got that classic Soviet style where he kind of fences with the jab and looks to set up the straight right hand, and he disguises it with that bounce.
Stylistically, this matchup presents immense challenges for both men. While Madrimov's best chance lies in outlasting and outboxing Ortiz, many believe this strategy will be difficult to execute. Ortiz's relentless aggression and durability will test Madrimov's stamina and defensive capabilities in ways he has never experienced before.
I think this is going to be a very entertaining fight. I think it's going to be a battle of the jabs, particularly in the early rounds. But as things progress, I think Ortiz is going to start walking Madrimov down, and he's going to attempt to drag him into the trenches.
Despite coming off a loss to Terence Crawford, Madrimov remains confident in his ability to defeat Ortiz. His speed, skill, and power make him a formidable opponent, and he has identified vulnerabilities in Ortiz's defense, such as his glass jaw. Whether Madrimov can capitalize on these weaknesses will be a key storyline in the fight.
Vergil Ortiz is now fighting the most overhyped fighter, Israel Madrimov, on the Dmitry Bivol versus Archer Beterbiev card. Now this fight is going to be a crazy fight because stylistically this is both men's hardest fight, but I still got Vergil Ortiz winning this fight because Israel Madrimov is not going to be able to brawl with Vergil Ortiz. His best chance at winning this fight is to try and outbox and outland Vergil Ortiz, which won't happen. So once again, I got Vergil Ortiz beating Israel Madrimov and exposing them.
Madrimov's willingness to fight top-tier opponents back-to-back speaks volumes about his ambition and mental toughness. After facing Serhiy Bohachuk, he now steps into the ring against Ortiz, proving his readiness to take on the best in the division. However, the lack of rest and the cumulative toll of these high-level bouts may work against him.
Israel Madrimov is fighting Vergil Ortiz in February, and Israel Madrimov is going to knock out Vergil Ortiz. Now, yes, Israel Madrimov is coming off a loss to Terence Crawford, but Israel Madrimov has the skill, speed, and power to cause Vergil Ortiz problems, and his latest performances have also been great. Vergil Ortiz has a glass jaw. He just got dropped twice by Serhiy Bohachuk in his last fight. Vergil Ortiz is fine.
When approached for the fight, Madrimov quickly agreed, showcasing his hunger and determination to make a statement. While the fight is evenly matched on paper, Madrimov appears to be more motivated than ever, determined to rise to the occasion and claim victory against one of the division's top fighters.
The big fight and the elephant in the room. Vergil Ortiz Jr. is fighting Israel Madrimov. You might think, he's fighting Serhiy Bohachuk on December, whatever the date is, 21st. Is that fight off? No, they're boldly assuming or proclaiming that Madrimov will make it to the Vergil Ortiz fight, though he's fighting arguably the two biggest punchers in the division that are physical. Not sure how that's going to go, but I can't even think about this fight because I just, in my heart of hearts, I don't see how it happens because I think Bohachuk is a tall test for Madrimov at this point, and I don't see this fight happening. I hope it does, but just to be honest, I don't see it happening.
Experts predict that the fight will be a grueling contest, with both fighters needing to dig deep to secure a win. Ortiz's performance against Bohachuk revealed some vulnerabilities, and Madrimov's adaptability could exploit those gaps. However, Ortiz's relentless style and power punches make him a tough opponent to outlast.
The Riyadh season is coming. It's back. 22nd of February, Saudi Arabia. The Bivol versus Beterbiev rematch, and on the undercard we have Israel Madrimov, the man who fought Terence Crawford and lost a decision but gave a great account of himself, is the man to be facing Vergil Ortiz. So Madrimov is a replacement for Jaron Boots Ennis, who I hate to say declined the fight with Ortiz at 154. Madrimov was quickly contacted and the answer was, yes, I'll take this fight. So how does this go? Well, Madrimov gave a great account of himself against Terence Bud Crawford, who's still ranked #1 pound for pound in the world. Ortiz, on the other hand, didn't look so great in his last outing. So if you go with that, and that's the way I usually go with logic, I think Madrimov is the hungrier guy right now. Ortiz did have some health issues early on, and they seem to be all resolved now, but maybe that was the reason that his outing wasn't so spectacular. But I think Madrimov is going to edge out a close decision. On paper, this is pretty much a 50-50 fight. I think most experts may have Ortiz as a slight favorite, but I don't think that's right. I think it's a 50-50 fight. Both guys can bang. Both guys are technically very sound. They're both defensively responsible, and they're both, good footwork, speed. Everything is, they're pretty much a good matchup on every level. But I think Madrimov is the slightly more hungry guy, and that's why I see him having his hand raised in the end. I see unanimous decision with Madrimov taking the win February 22nd in Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia.
This fight has the potential to redefine the careers of both fighters. With Ortiz's aggression and Madrimov's technical skill, the outcome could hinge on who can impose their style more effectively. As the division watches closely, the winner of this clash will take a significant step toward middleweight supremacy.
This is going to be a really close fight. I think, Boachuk performed great against Ortiz Jr., did show some vulnerabilities. I'm going to go with Israel Madrimov to win this fight on a decision. I think it's going to be really close. I think they're going to sit on each other's chest.
Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Israel Madrimov is more than just a fight. It's a battle of wills, skill, and determination. With each fighter bringing their unique strengths to the ring, fans can expect a high-stakes, action-packed encounter. Will Ortiz's relentless pressure overwhelm Madrimov? Or will Madrimov's technical brilliance shine through? Stay tuned to Boxy Hub for all the latest updates and coverage on this unmissable fight.